So if you watch wrestling this week, you know we lost someone special to the IWC. Genji, aka GBM, the Gingerbread Man, is gone. And there was a funeral this Friday. And we just wanted to show our respects. This was from John Cena's last match outside the Capital One Arena. The last time we saw him, he was a good guy, and we're going to miss him. Rest in peace, Genji.
The boldest, they the blackest, the brightest, the boldest. We talk combos, roll. We come in, we hit it with the trick shot. Nothing but net, we need that bell, but them haters they gon' still watch. Like I just said, when it comes to combat, you looking at the TikTok. You wanna come into the ring, mess around, go ahead, get tricked out. We got that attitude, they shoot to dominate. We got the table, we filling up all the plates. You press play whenever you wanna taste. We always with the real, baby, you never gave fake. The blackest, the brightest, the boldest. They the blackest, the brightest, the boldest. They the blackest, the brightest, the boldest. We talk out, they the coldest.
At Backlash?
Backlash.
At Backlash.
At Backlash.
At Backlash?
At Backlash. Ole.
I'm gonna see you at Backlash.
Backlash. At Backlash.
At Backlash.
At Backlash.
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 Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Glow Sun Production proudly brings to you its best, brightest, and blackest combat review show there is on YouTube or anywhere else. That's We Talk Combat, where we talk all things combat, sports, and sports entertainment, guys. I am one of your hosts around here. I go by the name of Muy Grande Negro Americano. She's another one of the hosts. She goes by Chemo Queen. How are you today, babe?
It's late. We had Backlash, so we had to stay up in AAA. But it's cool. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to me.
It is. Happy Mother's Day, babe. Happy Mother's Day to you and everyone else that watched the show and all the other mothers around the world that take on that role. We appreciate you. But our other host down there, he goes by Mr. Green. How are you today, bro?
I'm cool. Took the moms out. Yeah, man, ready to get talking about Backlash.
All right, y'all. Well, you heard Mr. Green down there. If you're new around here, do us a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button and also hit the like button. Also, the notification bell so you're always known. Well, you're always in the know, I should say, when we drop the new around here. We drop at different times. We say CPT around here. Sometimes it's Sunday afternoon. Sometimes it's Sunday evenings. Today, it ended up being Saturday evenings. Or Saturday evening, I should say, after Backlash, as we just had that this evening, and it's Mother's Day tomorrow. So some of us want to be with the women and mothers of our lives. So that should be a fun day. But other than that, y'all do us another favor. Hit us up and follow us on our other page. We Talk Combat Clips. We have all the condensed versions of the show over there. I drop shorts damn near every day of the week over there. So if you want, the too long, didn't read versions of the shows over there, go check it out. Give us a like, subscribe, and all that over there as well. And lastly, before we start the show, let me show y'all our watch-along schedule because Queen made it. We do a watch-along party damn near every day. Mondays, we show Raws and Discord, and also do it on the watch-along as well here on YouTube. Tuesdays, NXT. Wednesdays is Evolved, and also AEW Dynamite. Thursdays is TNA Impact. Friday is SmackDown. Saturdays or any PLEs like we did today with Backlash. We also show any AAA events and AEW Collision as well if anything else isn't going on. We also show Sunday events if that was to happen. But welcome to the show. If you don't know how the show goes, we break down the highs and lows of the week. The highs and lows of the week. Give basically a overall letter grade, I should say. Not really a full recap. Like I say, just a review of what we thought were great points and what were low points, and then give an overall letter grade. After that, we go to any wrestling tea that may have happened, any news that you may need to know, because we watch this shit so you don't have to. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Green, down there. But then lastly, I get to any questions or comments that you may have. And if you have any questions or comments, the show is very interactive. Please hit us up with the @ WTC for We Talk Combat so we know you're talking to us and not somebody else in the comments. I may pop some comments up on the screen throughout the show, but any questions you may have, I will save till the end and we will get and definitely answer any questions as long as they're respectful. We appreciate you guys so much. Please, please, please share, like, all of that stuff. We're trying to get an algorithm with all the other shows, independent, black owned, everything. It's not just for black folks. We appreciate everybody to watch the show, but you definitely get it from a black point of view. And with all that being said, y'all, let's get to our highs and lows. Y'all know how we do this. Another week of WWE product, y'all. We start off with Monday Night Raw. Obafemi had his first open challenge. Otis ended up accepting the challenge after we thought Akira Tozawa would for a second. That happened and more on Raw. We'll talk about that. On NXT, Mr. Will Cruz, that's his new name, came out and manhandled both Tony D'Angelo and Tavion Heights.
Mason Rope.
I'm sorry, Mason
Mason
Rook.
Rook.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no Will Cruz.
You good?
Mason
You
Rook.
good?
I apologize. Thank you, bro. His new name or whatever came out there and handled Tony D'Angelo and Tavion Heights, as I said. On Evolve, main part I had was Max Abrams teaming with Jakari Ball and also Santana Rivera. They defeated Cappuccino Jones, Romeo, Moreno, and Chad Starboy Hall. TNA Impact had Li Ying Lee defeating Ariana Grace, and I think this is her second TNA Knockouts Championship reign. So shout out to her. And let's see. Friday Night SmackDown, we had the funeral of the Gingerbread Man. I know that's a very polarizing topic right now. We're going to get into that and more. Just had AAA wrapping up. La Catalina had her first match, and she defeated Jesse Jackson, and with some shenanigans at the end of the match and all of that. So we'll talk about that. Then the main event of today is Backlash in Tampa. We had a few matches tonight. I'll go in order of the matches that were on the card. We had Seth Rollins actually being defeated by Braun Breaker in the opening match. Trick Williams retained his U.S. championship against Sami Zayn. Danhausen and many Danhausens defeated Kit Wilson and The Miz. Io Sky defeated Asuka in what could be her last match. We'll talk about that and more. And last but not least, Roman Reigns retained his Men's World Championship against Mr. Jacob Fatu. So with all that being said, let's start with you, babe. What were your highs and lows of this week's WWE product, and what is your overall letter grade?
Well, this week was the Jacob Fatu show. Got to see him Monday, got to see him Friday, and got to started out with him basically telling his story and him telling the Usos, that I'm handling business and that y'all gotta stay out of the way, not interfere. We got to see some more Uso I think they changed the song again slightly. And I noticed that they came out with little darker outfits. Like I guess they're not gonna be as funny anymore, they're gonna be more serious. So, it was what it was. We got to see the Obafemi Open Challenge. Jobbers. That's all I gotta say. But we had a little funny moment there with Tozawa first, but it was what it was. We knew what it was gonna be. Oba won. For the most part, Raw was okay. It's been better, but I do think that it had a lot of high points because we have a deep Roman Reigns story right now, and that they're doing a lot with the MFTs and that whole thing. But moving on, because every time we have a PLE, all the episodes lead up to it. So moving on, we can just go right to Tuesday. Um, Tuesday, I'm not gonna lie, I missed a lot, but now Will Cruz now Mason Rook, I guess. We gonna see. It's getting interesting over there, but we're gonna see. I guess moving on. Wednesday is Evolve. I did not see Evolve. I did see parts of NXT, but I totally missed Evolved. Um, I don't know. I guess stuff happened. I didn't even see the highlights. I'm not gonna lie to you. Moving on. And TNA. I actually didn't see TNA this week either. Yeah, no TNA. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. No TNA either. We could just skip. She crying, so good for her. Woo, moving on. So SmackDown though. SmackDown. It divided a lot of people, I noticed on the internet, but I happen to think this is one of the best SmackDowns we've had in a while. And I'm not even gonna put it all on Trick's shoulders. So Jacob had another moment of coming out and telling his case to everybody of why he deserves to win at Backlash. So that was it was cool. We got to see basically a build up to everything to Backlash. So I'm gonna kind of move on because we're gonna talk about on Backlash. But are we gonna go back and just talk about Backlash as a group, or are we gonna talk about it now? You're muted.
You can talk about it now.
Okay. Well, anyways, we got to see what we I guess was the culmination of this gingerbread storyline, and I'm not gonna lie, I really really enjoyed it. And if people feel like it didn't show a lot of homages to not just promos and storylines we've had in the past, I thought it was great. I'm not even doing it because I'm trick biased. I am a little trick biased, but it definitely started organically just as like a throwaway joke and then got legs of its own, literally. Um, and that it became just so silly, and Trick's acting as well as Sammy's acting together really pulled it together. Like they really did. Like the fact that you got to watch Sammy just slowly just unraveling at everybody taking the gingerbread man thing so seriously and them having a funeral for him, and that a lot of people said they didn't like that Ray Phoenix was there as well during the wake part, but I did. I thought it was cool. I thought it was everybody was in on the joke, and it was like everybody's in on the joke except for Sammy. That was the whole thing. Like it made it great. But I also really liked the song, the off key song. Like Sammy said, he said the choir was off key. Like I enjoyed all parts of that segment. It was fantastic. Like, and it definitely had some callbacks to old Trick when he had a choir coming out for a PLA back when he was, I believe it's still in TNA, right? Was it TNA? Okay. Um, but yeah, it was great. If you haven't watched the recap of it, watch the recap of it. It was hilarious. But you know that Sammy came and crashed out, and the gingerbread man turned out to be Mr. Little Boat. And he got a few hits in with a kendo stick candy cane. And it was hilarious. It was a great segment. As I said, people are divided on it, but I enjoyed it not being so serious, and that only someone like Trick could be able to pull this all together. So I like, kudos to them. I loved it. I enjoyed it. We also had like Kiana James and Tiffany Stratton, I believe, had a match too. Had some other stuff happen, but I didn't really care. I really like it. It was a good show though. I mean, I'm not just saying that. It was like the whole week for the most part with the main shows was actually strong, and usually it's the shows in between that bring up the grade. But I actually felt like the Monday and the Friday were strong, but we can just move on to Backlash because that's what we're here for, really. So, as a lot of people know that I believe the first hour was on ESPN. So a lot of people got to watch Seth Rollins and Braun Steiner's match, as well as, and I'm gonna just keep calling him Steiner because they said they're gonna change it. So I'm just gonna get used to calling him that. And then Trick and Sammy's match. So I think a lot of people share the sentiment, but I feel like it started out really, really strongly, and then it ended not as strong. Um, but again, I'm not going to try and show too much bias, but I'll just start with my thoughts on like each of the matches. So I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't watch the EO match, so I'm not even gonna give my thoughts on it. I really didn't give a shit. Sorry, didn't even give a shit. I know why they did the match, but I didn't give a shit. But I will say that the Seth and Braun match was actually a decent match. I love that it started out hot, like they didn't even start doing like a bunch of talking first. They just went right to it. I appreciate that. Was I concerned that one of them was gonna get injured the whole match? Yes, because they both are, like, injury prone right now. It doesn't look good. But it was a good match. I feel like it ended how it was supposed to. I'm glad that Brian finally got the damn dub. Like, it's been a rough road for the kid, so, like, it was time. It did make me curious, though, like, one about Seth because he's starting to talk like he's trying to start walking away and all that shit too as well. But we all kind of knew that Becky was like the stronger athlete out of the two. No offense. So if he has to go retire early, it's all good. Like I would be sad to see it, but at the same time, like I'm the same age as Seth, so I kind of relate. I understand he's getting tired and he's probably getting tired of being injured. So I'll move on. It was a decent match. The Sammy and Trick match, it was everything it was supposed to be. There was definitely some moments where you could tell that the two were talking to each other, but I enjoyed that they communicated, and then Trick like whispered like a thank you to Sammy because at the end of the day, he understands that Sammy is was in the middle of his own little storyline and that he kind of came into that and that they created something together. Because before Trick came over there, Sammy was on his lines of I need to get a championship. I need that belt. My son wants me to get the belt. I'm tired of being the underdog. I understand I'm the people's champion, quote unquote. But I haven't gotten the big one. Like that's the thing that's been eluding me. And Trick coming in a way kind of threw think Sammy could see the story in it and that he's been a great sport. He's been a great character and that we got to see Sammy's turning of heel. That's gonna be coming. But as I said, it was a great match. I really enjoyed it. Lil Yachty did some ones and people were trying to say they were fake, but they were real ones because Lil Yachty got money. Um, Great match. I enjoyed it. Moving on. Yeah, as I said, I didn't see the little EO Oscar joint. So man, the Danhausen match. It was a Danhausen match. It was exactly what y'all expected it to be. I don't know what everybody was expecting. We were all definitely wrong about who we thought the mystery partner was going to be, but at the end of the day, it was a Danhausen match. It had everything it needed to have. It made The Miz and Kit Wilson look goofy. We had little people. We had lots of little people at a point. Danhausen is making sure WWE get his money worth. You know what I mean? Like they're getting all their money's worth of Danhausen. Like that man is worked all the time. Oh, I did actually forget to say something actually back about SmackDown. Is that Royce Keys not only is back, but I saw him like 4 times on Friday. It was crazy. It's like we went from him being a ghost and a figment of our imaginations and just a memory in the wind to now he's a part of Jacob's storyline. He over here trying to be a part of Daniel Priest storyline. Like he was everywhere. But kudos to him. I'm glad he got to have a bunch of speaking parts as well. Like I'm kudos to him. But back to Backlash, as I said, I didn't know who the Mr. Bride was going to be. Some people said like CM Punk maybe, and some other folks, but I was, to be honest, thinking it was gonna be like a B care type person, like a Johnny Gargano or like a Matt Cardone or some dumb shit like that. I was expecting it to be one of them. The fact that they didn't even job it out to anybody that's on the roster was kind of sad. Like they outsourced the job to somebody else. But at the end of the day, it was true Danhausen fashion, so it was what it was. Moving on. Um, the Roman Jacob match. As I said, it started out on a much higher note. I felt like at the beginning of the show, and that it went downhill. I guess from there, I didn't hate the match, but I didn't love it either. And I also feel like it's crazy that Jacob's only been back so and so long, but I'm already getting like Jacob fatigue. And on the other note, it's like I guess at the same time, I kind of wish he still would have won as opposed to Roman. But I do understand that Roman has been losing a lot in the past like year that they kinda had to balance things out a little bit, but I don't know, we'll see. I'm sure Jacob's gonna have himself like a huge, title match in the next few months, but I'm curious to see if any of this is going to translate to possibly Trick or somebody else, instead taking the belt off of Roman in the future, but I don't remember what all my predictions were, but I do feel like, for the most part, the appropriate people won each match. So I'm going to give Backlash itself. I'm gonna give it actually a B because, as I said, I enjoyed it for the most part. Like they were like I would say 3 out of the matches were very watchable and enjoyable, and the other 2 were meh, but it was all right. For the whole wrestling product of the week, I will give it a B plus because, as I said, I felt like the shows on Monday and Friday were both very strong, and they all catered to tell the story of what Backlash would be. The only thing that someone else had pointed out that I kind of think about now too is that I do actually, a lot of people didn't like this, but I did enjoy that a lot of these relationships, damn near all of them, were all kind of mentor mentee relationships besides the Sammy and Trick part. um, I think all of them kind of already had their own stories in play, but I do feel like with the Asuka Io Sky match, they kind of were just trying to just wrap shit up because I do think that Asuka is probably going to be leaving. Um, and I, it is what it is, because Kari's ain't left. But that's it. That's all my thoughts.
You want to talk about AAA?
Shit.
You're muted.
All right, sorry, I kept accidentally remuting myself. Oh yeah, AAA. AAA was AAA. No complaints really. We had La Catalina came and it was her first match in AAA. She I hear was from NXT. And that she had chose to go instead of trying to go up to one of the other brands to go to AAA. So, kudos to her. I'm sure that that was, a big jump, but I think that she probably is in the right place. And Bailey came out at the end of her match to assist her after Las Toxicas started fighting her because she was in a match with this girl named Jessie Jackson. Um, and yeah, like so Bailey came out. Bailey got a nice pop. It was cool. No complaints. El Dorado had one. Was it El Dorado or De La Cruz? I don't know. One of them dudes won. I already done forgot because it's been a long day, but one of those dudes won during a three-way match. But we kind of continue the story of the Psycho Clowns because right now there's a story between Pagano and Psycho Clown, and they're falling apart of their friendship. Which that's been a cool storyline to watch. And as I said, I usually don't have any really complaints about AAA. I did feel like during one of the matches, though, when it had Lynn Delarado, Lynn's Eldorado, God, the other guy and his names are too close. He definitely like he was about to like pass out, like he was about to go in percussion protocol. Uh, and I think that they kind of rushed to end the match on that because AAA actually ended 10 minutes early. So I think that kind of like I think they sped things up because of that because it definitely ended like 10 minutes early. But AAA was cool. As I said, I stick with the grades that I gave. I think the grades still fit. But yeah, it was a decent week of wrestling.
All right. So you gave it a B plus, right? All right. We start with a B plus, Mr. Green. What's your highs and lows this week WWE product, and what is your overall letter grade?
Yeah. We're gonna start off on Raw first and foremost. Yeah, Judgment Day, like I said, that's whack already. Ethan Page getting some dubs. Pin Penta, pin the champion. We'll see what's going to happen with that. Obafemi beat Otis. I like the character building they're doing with Obafemi. Once again, he's not just the biggest and jock out there. Pause. He's a little bit intellectual too. So that was a great way of doing your finisher with big Otis there. Otis is a big boy. I ain't gonna take that from him. Joe Hendry and this whole Joe Hendry Logan Paul thing. I know he fought off the 30, but I'm not worried about that. I like it. I like it. I don't like how like the Street Profits are kind of getting shoehorned here. Like, did you not have a full out plan about the Street Profits, or maybe using the success of Joe Hendry? And you're trying to piggyback some of the fan affair um for the Street Profits to that, and that could be what you're doing. I'm not sure, but then Seth is a part of it too, and then Brig. It's a lot going on, so it's just like multiple factions against the Vision. Um, yeah, I just got to keep watching week in, week out to see how this kind of streamlines its way out. Because all you're doing is just supplementing. Who you supplementing? Joe Hendry and the Street Profits are the same as the Usos and LA Knight versus the Vision. Like, it's the same kind of formula. So I just want something different. At the end of the day, just break out the Vision. That helps out a lot. But we're not going to do that because we love the Vision for some reason. Yeah, so I'm liking the selling of the tongue and death grip. I love Roman and what he's doing. He's definitely doing his due diligence. And the Usos are doing their due diligence and trying to sell it as well, just to sell the match. And Jacob is, Jacob. And I think Jacob performed better on SmackDown. I think SmackDown, he gave one of his best promos. So he's definitely starting to, round the bases when it comes to that. And we see where that goes. Well, we know where it went, but we get there when we get there. And I'm not really worried about Soruka too much. Completely botched it what she's doing out there, but they edited it nicely. That was a smooth edit they did. Moving on to NXT. It's not too much I want to talk about NXT. Yes, Queen talked about Mason Rook. That's his name. Look like what's his name? Hugh Morris to me. Just give him a slingshot and put a laugh now, cry later on it. But I think the number one match that I cared about the most was Jada Parker and Kelly Armstrong. Both women performed very well. Very well. Shout out to Kelly Armstrong. She's the newer one in the situation. And Jada was Jada. I didn't necessarily see too many botches in this match. Both girls fought hard, and it was a nice, entertaining match. I like the Natty situation towards the end when Jada started to wild out in the locker room. Meaning, I think that's a telltale sign that she's going to go through one more slight character development that they're doing, and then she's off to the next roster. And I'm 100% okay with that. Yeah, I don't care about that. Moving forward, let's go with Evolve. Evolve was cool. The highlight to me was the 6-man tag. It was a lot of stuff going on in this match. This is one of those things where you can go back and watch this, and you're gonna find yourself entertaining. These guys are performing at a high level. This is a good group of young talent. It's a very good group of young talent together, and they just perform nicely. So it was just good to see high level performance out of the Evolve crew in a sense, right? So that's what we're talking about here. So nothing too special when it came to Evolve this past week. It's just those 6 guys every last one of them can eventually get called up in some kind of form or fashion. Not saying that none of these guys are championship material. I'm not going none of that, right? But just to fill out mid cards and to fill out the roster and things like that, these are a good group of guys. So we'll see where they're at moving forward. And not chime in every week about them. But yeah, who I do not care about is the champion, by the way. So I'm not going to forget that. I could care less about Cam Hendricks, even though he's starting to make his way on the NXT. He just doesn't do it for me, Paul. So there's that. I didn't see TNA due to another show. SmackDown. SmackDown was like I said, Jacob Fatu, he's selling it, right? He's doing his thing. I'm not blaming him for anything. He's showing me a lot right now because it's all on him, right? And they're doing their best to sell a match without Roman, so we're gonna keep that in mind too. Gunther, this goddamn Gunther, man. So he's signing contracts. I guess he's on SmackDown now. I guess he just left Raw, said, "All right, I'm out." Don't worry about Seth. I'm going back over here. But that's okay. It's different, right? I didn't see it coming. I guess this is the favor. Now, how the hell did Paul Heyman have a favor on SmackDown when he a Raw person, and that favor was going to get him a championship shot against Cody, but he has no run-in with Cody whatsoever, and now he's making deals. I don't know. This is WWE. It doesn't matter. When you ask too many questions, you're going to get frustrated. So we try not to ask too many questions when it comes to WWE. Tiffany and Kiana, you finally see that they're going to split up Kiana and Julie, because that was the main part of this whole match. I could care less that Kiana lost. What I do care about is her and Julie not being on the same page, which means that Julie is probably going to get up out of here. Matter of fact, she might get up out of here so far that she might see a black screen coming up soon. So you never know when it comes to the WWE. Once again, my man. Shout out to Queen. She mentioned Royce Keys. Royce Keys is all over the place. The man is everywhere. And I think they're overdoing it now. Like we went from not seeing him at all, what she said. I'm not trying to repeat too much, but we didn't see Royce Keys. It was like, yeah, where is he at? And now we get like multiple segments of Royce Keys, and he can't carry them. He doesn't have the charisma like that to see him multiple times. Once is cool. Twice, all right. That's the thing, right? All right. 3, 4, no, it's too much. It's too much. So, because I guess as a black person, let's go there, right? As a black person, when we used to grow up watching TV shows, right, and it'd be like certain TV shows that, it was just, you could tell a white person wrote it, right? And like, hey, yo, T-Dog, man, what's going on, man? Like, what are you doing? Like, yo, what you rapping or something? It's very generic type of talking. And that's what Roy Keith, like, he talks like that. Like, what, who's writing this stuff? Like, yeah, man, Jacob, you got to let her know that you from the streets, man. You know how we used to do, homeboy. Like, what the hell is that? It's not entertaining for me. Like, I'm from Baltimore. Like, I don't even hear people in Baltimore talk like that. Who's talking like that? Is that a West Coast thing? I don't know. But people on the East Coast don't talk like that. Let's just say that. So it looks like goddamn Thug 1 and Thug 2 talking behind the scenes of Family Matters or something. I don't need to see that. I don't need to hear that. And that's just what I'm saying. So the less of that and the more him just kicking ass in the ring, I'm a happy person. Let's keep that where it is. Moving forward, yeah, got that. Okay, is it funeral time? Funeral time. It was great, right? What we talking about here? It was great. The AI, right? The Chat GPT, whatever you want to use, that was great. That was nicely used. Versus the Zarya version, which was kind of like, I wasn't feeling that. This spot on, right? Because it's the freaking gingerbread man. They didn't know that it was gonna go this angle, so they just putting stuff together, splicing stuff up and everything. The gingerbread man was everywhere. He was there when Austin was doing his thing. He was there with Rock and everybody. It's the gingerbread man. So, it was great, man, and it was a nice segment. Like I said, I had no issues with it, and it's over. It's over with. Like, we're not even going to front. I don't think we're going to focus on the gingerbread man no time soon after that. So it was nice. It was nice to see Trick rock the black. You know what I'm saying? And everything was cool. So it missed me with all that extra nonsense. The problem is we used to enjoy it. We used to love these entertainment segments. But when the overall show isn't as strong as it once was, then now the entertainment segments is like, yo, you wasted time for this? Well, no, if the other stuff was good, this would have been great, right? It fits it in the sense, right? That Danhausen thing on a great show, Danhausen is a great break of the high intensity. You know what I'm saying? That's needed. It always was needed in wrestling. So, a great segment is just the rest of the show wasn't great, so it made that look like, yo, you spent all this time on that? You know what I'm saying? Where the hell is Mello? Shout out to Mello. Where are you? Moving forward, Triple A was cool. Triple A was cool. I want to focus on the fact that this is I'm starting to see a lot of Lola Vice, right? She's doing the mix thing and everything like that. So this is her trick. This is her trick moment, right? This is saying that can she hold down maintaining appearances on both AAA and NXT and all this other stuff. The odds are out there for you. We're gonna see what you're gonna do about it. So that was that. Entertaining matches once again. I'm interested in their future Triple Mania. It's going to be 2 nights, so you're going to see a lot of people buying for their positions to be on that type of an event. So, so far, so good with AAA. Like I said, it's not nothing negative, I got to say. They don't do enough for the storylines for me to kind of like nitpick and do all this other stuff because I'm not here for the storylines because this is AAA. This is not WWE. It's a different thing, right? And that leads me into Backlash. Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins was a good match. I'm not hating on this match. Couple botches in this match. Wasn't necessarily the smoothest match. I was expected to be smooth, but it wasn't. But it wasn't bad either. Braun get the victory, which he should have won. I just don't know what they're doing with Seth. That's the problem. I see Seth backstage on Raw talking to Roman saying you're in my way or whatever. I'm like, was that a callback from when Roman said to Cody in that little Georgia Dome, like, yo, you're in my way. What? You're in my way in life. Like, you need to get out my way. I remember he said that. So now Seth said it. Are you planning something with Roman, but you're losing? So are you going to have any more momentum when you get to that point? It's frustrating, man. It's frustrating. These things are frustrating to me. But I digress. Who else was next? Trick, right? Great. It was a good match. Could have been better. I think this Sammy match could have been better. But I like the ending. I like Little Yachty. I like his he's a freaking manager. Like I gotta keep thinking in my head like he is a manager. He is a WWE manager in the classic sense, not just I'm gonna bring this guy out and that's it. No, he's gonna get involved in the match. He's gonna take some bumps in the match. And he's doing pretty good at it. And once again, the trick shot started me one of the most devastating moves in all of wrestling. So shout out to Trick on that. He got the dub. And then was Danhausen. And this shit, man, excuse my language. It went too long. It went too long. And it wasn't necessary. It was. I'm not knocking the match. I'm not going to say all this entertaining stuff about Trick and the funeral and all this other stuff, and then backhand it by saying, this Danhausen stuff was trash. I'm not going to do that. It just went too long. It was just too long. You could have squeezed in another match, especially with the fact that it's a PLE. You could have squeezed in another match, and that would have been fine. I mean, a 5-minute match or something like that. That would have been just fine. But they don't. They extended this thing and it went too long. EO and Asuka, great match. I had no issues with this match whatsoever. Kyrie, that was my only issue, in which I kind of lost interest because Kyrie wasn't involved in it. But the way it looks, either Asuka's having an emotional moment because she performed well and it should have been on a WrestleMania card, but it wasn't. So she's like feeling the emotions of that. Or it could be the end of Asuka. She said, "The hell with it." We know Io not gone because her husband is in NXT right now. She ain't going nowhere. So she's 10 toes down. But Asuka might be like, you know what? I might go in on and join Kyrie over there, man. I got my money here. It's time to go back home. I ain't taking no damn discount. So who knows? We'll find out if we see Asuka moving forward. I guess that leads to the championship match. It was a good match. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was good. It was. I wish it was another word between good and great. It was just like right up in that region. I like the after effects too. I like what they're doing. I like the selling that they're doing. Yeah, I had no issues with it. Roman got the victory, which he should have won. And Jacob he's trying to show everyone that he's heel. Like he's not a face whatsoever. Stop cheering him. Like he doesn't want it. You know what I'm saying? That's his character. Like he doesn't need the admiration of the fans. He's not looking towards the fans. He wants to be a werewolf, and this is his best gimmick. When he's starting to do the fan things too much, it looks a little off. So yeah, let him just wild out. Let him be someone that's you look around like you gotta look twice at like, yo, that's a dangerous dude right there. You know, when you're too much of a face, you lose that. So I will say this. to wrap things up, I was listening to the dude JD, the ultimate troll that he is. He made one good point in which I must give him some respect to. This was a 5-card PLE, and you got people paying $30 a month for these PLE segments and events, and they got 3 matches because 2 of them was free because it was on the ESPN joint. That's crazy. Like I know they're trying to sell and market and promote and all these other things, but yo, that's $30 for 3 goddamn matches, and one of them was goddamn Danhausen. Like that's not cool at all. WWE, we got to do better at this. Y'all got to do better at that situation, because that's absolutely god awful. But with that being said, to wrap it up all together, hey, I'll be talking, I'm like, yo, so far I'm gonna go with a C, then you go to a D, then you talk about something else, it brings it back up to us. Backlash was okay. I'm gonna give it a C. It was okay. All in all, it's a C.
All right, so we got a B plus and we got a C. Before I get my grade, let me add on to something you just said about the having 3 matches and having 2 free. Backlash was like 2 hours and 45 minutes. It started at 6 o'clock here, ended at 8:45, I believe. That means also they got an hour and 45 minutes of wrestling for $30 a month, bro. That's
awful. That's awful, yo.
Bro, when you said like that's horrible. But shout out to us for not doing that. But go to the beginning, man. Let me go to the beginning for WWE product and all that. But my grade, I'm kind of like Queen with this one. I know BA went down and said a C and all that. I'm gonna give it a B. I'm gonna give this week a B. Raw, I enjoyed. I didn't watch much of developmental at all. So this is basically based off of the main shows here. When Queen doesn't watch the shows, I'm probably not watching them either, just to let you know. She did get to see AAA. I didn't get to see much. I was doing some editing and putting stuff together for this show and another show that we have, but I'll get to see that at some point. But as far as Raw, everything y'all said, basically what you said, the Oba thing, that was a fun challenge. They got to find something to do, but I thought it was fun in a moment. We're probably going to get a Sheamus, maybe an Omos, stuff like that, probably in the meantime, to get him some stuff going on, which is fine. I don't know, bro, how I feel about this bloodline thing, though. I feel like it's just a throwaway, and seeing with Backlash and all, I don't know as well. But we'll see. I feel like there's something else major happened on Raw that I wanted to talk about. I feel like no, but I don't mean in a bad way though. I just mean no, it was just Raw. It was cool. It wasn't like the worst thing. I just sat through it and enjoyed it. And when it was over, it was over. As I said, I didn't see NXT at all. I saw the little highlights of Mason Rook basically doing a running senton with was it Tony D'Angelo on his back, and then Tavion Heist just, I guess, jobbing out in the corner.
The ultimate jobber.
You said this.
Damn.
You said that, BA?
Yeah, he's a jobber, yo.
I don't know, man. You said
I'm talking about Tavion Heist.
Yeah, I know you're talking about Tavion Heist.
Yeah.
I know, sitting in the corner and all that. So what I'm saying is I don't know if he make it past the next cuts. That's what I was about to say, but who knows?
Yeah, somebody got to catch these L's. Go ahead, bro.
You fine. Evolve. I didn't really see much of it as well. But they're easy catch-ups, Evolve and all. Like, you just go to Tubi right now and just watch those in 2 seconds. TNA, I didn't watch much of it. Like I say, I'm waiting for Ricky Sosa to come back, but I did see that Lee won. So I thought that was pretty cool. But that's about it. Like I said, I'm not until Ricky Sosa comes over there, don't really care much about TNA. I mean, call it like it is. SmackDown is what I really want to talk about in the PLE. Couple things. I enjoy SmackDown a lot. I thought SmackDown was cool. Let me tell you why. I thought they established Tala Tonga, right? Like I didn't think Tala Tonga was going to beat Damian Priest, and they actually were like two big guys that put on a decent match. Taller looked like the what is it? A tall guy. You feel me? Like a giant against him. Did his thing. Won the match. I was like, wow, okay, that's against a former world champion. And this was after I was worried about him being fired and all that. And he had just had a great performance in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and all that. And I think that may have been after he got injured in that tag team match earlier when I was talking to Queen about it, saying I think he may have got hurt. So shout out to Tala Tonga, looking good though recently, maybe finding his groove and all that, and they kept him around for a reason. I thought the Royce Keys a heel?
They don't know yet.
Based off of his interactions with what's his name, Jacob, and you saying that Jacob is a heel, and that's his homeboy and all. That's the guy that's blood homie.
But he's anti-Solo in the MFT.
He's not technically anti them. He just in their business. That's why Tama Tonga was mad. You feel me? It's
that's
like
why,
that's
why I said the jury still. That's why I said it's still out for him. We don't know yet.
He probably should be heel. I would make him heel. It fits right now for him to be a heel. That would work. But I'm fine with him in the storylines, a bunch of segments. So I'm not as mad. I didn't get it as far as the way his vocabulary is, I guess, the way his character is on the show, based off of his interviews and all that stuff with like Stephanie McMahon and all. I would think that wouldn't be the way he's presented, but then they presented him like this beside, you feel me, like a 5'2" and all. So it's like, hold up, did y'all want us to have sympathy for the guy for getting out of the streets and all that, or is he still in the streets? Which one is this? So I didn't get that one, but I still like the dynamic between him and 5'2". And if 5'2" wants to be known for jail and all that, then that's them. That ain't me. That ain't my conversation to be had. So feel me, it is what it is. All right, they ain't hurt me. So I'm fine with that. What else happened? Tiffany Stratton had her and Kiana James got us a little spotlight. Knew she wasn't gonna be Tiffany Stratton, but she got a spotlight, like you said. The Julia thing is starting to happen, where we can finally get her away from there and start building on her character. So I like that. We can get Paige and Brie Bella up out of here though. I mean, since Paige took what's her name, Nikki Bella's spot, basically we can get Gunther versus both of them 2-on-1 now, while Nikki, rehabbing, and he can retire both of them, including Paige. I thought Paige may have had something left in the tank because she only like 33. She done too. This is AJ Lee all over again. Like I feared this is about to happen. And they're not gonna give the title back to the Irresistible Forces. Doesn't look like it. Well, you can just split them up then too. Let Lash become the beast of a solo act that she is. It was a good sighting to see Jade back. Also, one thing about this SmackDown and Raw and all that as well.
That's what.
Go ahead. A bunch of trios though. Y'all notice that? A bunch of trios been happening.
The factions are coming together. Yeah,
but just not just factions. They're trios. Like they're Los Americanos, both of them over there. You got the women over here. You got Fatal Influence still. What's the
definition of a faction for you? I just think like two or more is a faction.
No. So listen. So I'm not disagreeing with the faction. I'm just throwing that specifically they're trios that you see. So the point that I'm getting, the trios point, is they may be introducing a trios championship.
The trios championship about like
with the stuff we heard in Backlash and all that we're gonna get to and all, but them doing a championship with that, I think they may be getting towards or gearing towards a possible trios championship in the WWE.
Might as well.
Well, I mean, but it's kind of too many champions. We'll get to that point when we get there, but we'll see. But yeah, and then the Gingerbread Man, yeah. Kind of like what you said, BA. People just don't know what they want anymore because you got people yelling, "I want the Attitude Era all over again," and it's like, bro, well, we had Steve Austin and Booker T in the supermarket. We had Kurt Angle with the milk truck, Austin with the beer truck. This Is Your Life with the Rock and Sock connection and all of that. And people were saying, and it led up to something where you went to, all right, the PLE, this is what we're supposed to do. And for them to be mad at this, like the entertainment, for these guys, Sami Zayn explained that you guys, the folks that are mad at them or mad at the segments should be cheering for Sami Zayn. Like, I don't get why they're mad at the segment because Sami Zayn is literally yelling. It's Idiocracy, like I've been yelling forever, bro. It's the movie Idiocracy. He's literally yelling what they want, and they're like, "Well, I hate this segment." Well, you love Sami Zayn, then you're a Sami Zayn fan. That's what he's for. I don't get it. It's like they're finding ways to hate. It's like I don't know, bro. And I'm like, he literally said out his mouth what you guys are saying, that it's more prestige in main event in a SmackDown. It's a slap in his. You know what? I'm gonna keep it real. Let me say these words to you. I'm gonna say these words. I really think this is what it is. A lot of people that don't like this ain't been cool in school and stuff like that. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all, because y'all don't know what he doing right now, and y'all have no idea that he making fun of the nerd. Trick is making fun of the nerd, and everybody is ha pointing at him as well. That's Sami Zayn right now. He's the butt of the joke. Basically, like what's his name? Ray Phoenix was around and it was like, you changed, Sammy. We're making fun of you and all. Everybody's making fun of Sami Zayn. And if you don't realize it, that's what literally it's like. If you don't get it, you're not supposed to get it. You're not cool. Like, I don't mean it as a direct cool, like, yo, you're not cool. That's what they mean, like that. But it's the analogy. Like, if you were at school and you didn't get it, you're not the cool one. Then, like, haha, it's an inside joke. You're not cool. You don't understand what we're doing. We're pointing at this guy. We're making fun of this guy. That's what's going on as far as entertainment wise. And folks are like, I don't get what's going on. So, I mean, I guess I wouldn't sit at your table in school. That's what I feel. But like I say, all in all, I thought it was an excellent segment, bro. It was done. You knew the gingerbread man. It was literally the funeral as far as the send home show. So you knew this was over. I watched not only this, but the extra stuff, WWE show and all that afterwards, because not only I try to cover this. So with me covering this, I want to know everything that goes on. As soon as the show was over, they had a segment with Trick and Yachty walking out and throwing the gingerbread man costume in the trash, saying that it was over and done. And then Danhausen came and pulled it out of the trash and said, well, I'll take that and all that stuff. But people don't pay attention to all that because they just want to yell and be mad at stuff. So if people want to get their views for that, I'm not mad at you. Do what you do. But moving on, like I said, didn't really see AAA. I'll watch it a little later. And then Backlash, I started at the beginning. Braun Breaker and Seth was cool. Seth got you could tell he was rusty. Both of them were rusty a little bit, but it was still a good match. They still had some bumps and all that stuff that looked good. Kicked out of finishing moves, did a bunch of reversals and all that stuff. It was fine. This is Backlash, not WrestleMania. I'm fine with that. Seth Rollins said after the PLE though on the post show, BA, to follow on what you said about his character, he said he's about to change his character up. He said, I got to find what's the best version of Seth Rollins. I got to change myself up and come back to something better because I'm getting old and all that now. So I think this is actually about to be something that's about to change as far as the Seth freaking Rollins. We could say Seth Rollins or something else, and then you feel me? He can finally move on from that because that's done. He needs to change that up. But he said he's still going after the Vision, though. He said he has to go after the Vision and destroy the Vision before he goes to the World Championship. He said that on the post show. Trick and Sammy, they did the job. Battle's over. Yachty did his thing. Yachty got to sell a little more, though. He got to know when to stay down. But I think they rushed him because he had a spot. So it's like, what is he supposed to do? But he got to sell. He got a haluva kick outside and all that, and beat with a kendo stick and was still in the ring throwing money and all. But other than that, Trick and Sammy did their thing. They got a longer time this time to tell their story. Sammy's completely healed now. I don't know what people need to see talking about he didn't turn completely healed. You didn't see the guy like take the kendo stick, hit Trick over the head when the ref wasn't looking. That was cheating. You didn't see him like I'm like, bro, what more do you need to see? You didn't see him like stomping on Trick's head while the referee was looking at him like for no reason and just constantly stomping on his head. That was cheating. Like you didn't see him fake like he had a torn leg. Something was wrong with his leg, and then he rolled him up. That was cheating, guys. Like, I don't know what more you need to see the Sami Zayn is a heel now. It's done. So that is what it is. The Danhausen match, like you say, BA, I'm not a fan of it, but I'm not gonna be mad because, like, I mean, somebody that is a fan of it, obviously, the dude does what he does. My only gripe with him and his matches, I feel like he need to have more regular TV matches. Why is he just taking up the PLE time? Like his character isn't known for being like we aren't going to take him and go to the world championship. He's not supposed to be known as being a guy that need to be on TV wrestling a bunch. He's for skits. So if that's the case, then why are we, using him on PLEs and all, and having these long matches
And
with him?
that's very similar. Like it's the if you're gonna have him on there, why is he having such a long ass match when he's not gonna be a champion or nothing like that?
Why
What are we
not just
doing?
on SmackDown? We're not even having them on SmackDown matches. You feel me? Like M has matches on SmackDown, and then we can have PLEs for other folks. He have segments on PLEs. That's what I think he should.
There you go.
Kind of like R-Truth used to do. You feel me? Back in the day when he was doing that stuff. The ladies match, again, it was a bathroom break. Not even a bad match. I just didn't care. Who cares about this? Nobody. It's done. The over was gone. It was over. Best part of the match was the I guess the secret at the end of the what is it called? The curtain call kind of moment with Asuka or whatever. So we don't know what's going on. I guess I don't know what's going on at all, actually. I don't know if it's everybody's saying it's a retirement, but like you said, it could just be a great match that she was excited for. Who knows, man? But shout out to Asuka though, and AO Sky. But I definitely did go to the bathroom for it. I won't lie. And lastly, for the championship match, again, great match for Backlash. Shout out to Roman for putting over Jacob, not even putting him over, but allow him to kick out of like 3 spears, damn near, something like that. Like, yeah, like Jacob was out there looking like a monster. Roman had to pull the turnbuckle off, and then had to, maneuver Jacob 5-2 into the turnbuckle and all just to catch another spear and then beat him. And then Jacob was right back up on his. Like Shawn Michaels kicking Bret Hart and Bret Hart getting back up before. Nah, just to catch the second one. Damn, Bret. But
Stop bringing up old shit.
I hate that VA, bro. I always look at that match, bro. That second one, like, bro, just don't do it, Bret. Every time, bro. Like, I don't know what's about to happen. But again, great match. Not great match, but like you say, everything was fine here. This was a good PLE. This was fine for something that's not my big 4 PLEs. I'm fine with this. Just mess with the time, give it a little bit more time. You feel me? The tinker with the matches as far as Danhausen being there, having that long of a match. But I thought this was a decent week. Like I said, I'm down. I gave it a B, a solid B for the week for WWE. All right, y'all. Queen, since Travis not here today, I'm gonna go to you. What were our highs and lows brought to the people by?
It was brought to you by the merch.
Hey. Hey, shout out to the merch, man. Shout out to Ralph for helping out with the merch. Our guy over there, Glow Sun Production. If you're interested in anything we may have, you may have seen on the screen, you can look at our description. All the links are there. Also, the description of the channel, you'll be able to look over there and see all the links to all the shirts as well. You do not have to buy anything. We never force anyone or really ask anyone to buy anything. But if you do, we appreciate you. We appreciate the support. Definitely post your picture of your shirt if you do get one and tag us, and we definitely will repost it and definitely show our gratitude as well. We appreciate everybody for everything that you do on this channel. But we got a little bit of news, so let's get to our wrestling too. All right, y'all. Shout out to the Dirt Sheet Radio. It says John Cena Classic. WWE versus NXT event announced. Champion of John Cena Classic to be won by fan vote. This was John Cena's big announcement at Backlash. He says he wants to bring back some type of other tournament like he had in his tournament to crown someone to go against him in his final match. So I don't know, y'all. What do y'all think about that, man? What do y'all think about this?
I don't know. I think it has the potential to go wrong, and I'll just tell you why real quick. So whenever we do stuff where it involves voting, there's always someone or some place or some entity or group that decides to, use technology or other things that's available to them to sway the vote one way or another. Now, I obviously don't know how they plan on doing this, so that might obviously just be like a unrealistic, fear. But I do think it has the potential not only just to showcase a lot of up and coming talent, which is awesome, amazing. That's what Evolve is about, but also it will give the older talent chances to possibly not just put over people, but also show, what their capabilities are against people that maybe we wouldn't normally see them against, or maybe people that, are a dream match. For some of the NXT people,
Uh,
I don't know. Overall, I think it was cool though that he presented the idea and that's in his honor, but also he really did actually kind of he got us. Everybody thought it was going to be the WWE club thing, and it wasn't. So I'm glad that it ended up not being that.
Mr. Green.
He said a whole lot to say light heavyweight champion. Oh, I'm sorry, he didn't say that. God damn it. I just think it's gonna be trash. I just think it's gonna be trash. I'm not Queen. I admire your optimism when it comes to this. I don't. This is gonna be trash, man. So you got a winner and a loser of a particular match, and if the person loses, but the fans say, "Yo, that guy lost epically," I'm going to vote him to the next round. What the fuck? What is that? Oh man! And then are we really going to say that the fans vote really matters? Like, so they're not going to fudge the numbers up and make who they want to go to the next round anyway? Because this is still wrestling, the entity that lies all the time. They even lie in front of your face when they're supposed to be telling you the truth. Like, it's like, what? I don't. This is, oh man. It sound cool, but this is gonna be trash.
This is trash. This is trash. And I've been, like I said, I gave it a week of B, so I'm not even trying to be, a negative Nancy or nothing like that. This is trash. So let me tell you what I got from it. And I don't know if this is what everybody else got from it, but this is what I got from it. It's going to be like a crown jewel championship again, basically. Every year, somebody going to win this, right? So it's going to be something that really don't matter because the championship just don't mean anything. Secondly, this can win based off a vote. So it's just a popularity contest. So
if they allow it to be that, yes,
yeah, based off of what he said, it's just a popularity contest.
Well, I guess
so
more like The Voice. I guess more like The Voice. But yeah, I'm not really
what are we
sure
doing?
how this is going to translate.
So we're gonna have
Danhausen. It didn't even sound like John Cena really understood it.
You'd have Danhausen versus Gunther. I mean, wouldn't Danhausen win?
Yeah, because Gunther will win the match, but we'll love.
But wouldn't the fans vote for Danhausen?
Yeah.
What? This is dumb. This is dumb. I'm sorry, John. I know you're trying to and yell and do your John Cena thing to make it sound like it's company guy WWE, but this is dumb. This is. I mean, it's going to showcase NXT people and WWE people and all that type of stuff, but I got to hear more about what they're going to do because this just they trying to make the people's champion. Like what is going on? This is dumb. But that's it. I don't even want to stay. I don't even stay on.
As I said, I need them to kind of clarify that because it don't make a whole like it's not the idea is not all the way put together yet.
I feel Crown Jewel, Andre the Giant Battle Royal type stuff. That's what I feel like it's about to be. All over again. But BA, now to you, bro. That was the quick tea. What was our tea brought to the people by?
Oh man, Fanatics.
This I Was Told segment is brought to you by the folks over at Fanatics. Fanatics is the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love the most, including WWE. You can earn fan cash to redeem them in your orders, jersey protection for when your favorite player is traded or changes teams. They also have an unrivaled selection of authentic fan gear and Fanatics exclusives that are only available on the site. So if you need some merch and are interested in helping the channel, scan the QR code on the screen or follow the link, which is always in the description.
Hey, so it was no questions tonight. We had a few comments I put on the screen, but we did have people watching tonight, actually. Quite a few throughout the night. So appreciate everybody that watched. If you have any questions or comments, we know it's a late night and all, and people aren't trying to really interact and all, trying to go to sleep or just watch something on TV. But definitely leave a question or comment if you watch this later on, or if you think about something later on. We'll definitely get back to you as long as it's respectful. Before you leave out of here, hit that like button, subscribe button. The like button is somewhere down there by Mr. Green's left shoulder. Also, the subscribe button down there and notification bell so you're always notified when we drop this hot new news. Ricky Saints still not getting no pop. Damn, Ricky Saints, my guy. But I ain't even talking about that. Let's leave it alone. Maybe by next week it'll be better. But yeah, also do us another favor. Follow us again on We Talk Combat Clips, where we have the condensed versions of the show. Next week we will have special guests. I think we have special guests actually next week and maybe the following, or in 2 weeks. We're gonna have a couple this upcoming month. Shout out to Cuz, who usually is here in the comments and all that stuff. He's bought some merchandise and all that, supporting the channel always, sharing the stuff. He's going to be on the show on the 23rd. So when we do our recap for Saturday Night Main Event, so shout out to Cuz, he'll be here. But next week we'll be having shout out to Kai from Black Couch Booking. He'll be here again. Shout out to our guy.
And
shout out to Bobby Monsoon from the Bobby Monsoon channel. I know a bunch of people know Bobby Monsoon and his, I guess, hate of the WWE. And we'll get his comments and his takes on what's been going on recently in WWE and all that stuff between him and Kai. So we appreciate the brother being on the show next week. Again, subscribe, like, all that stuff. Do us another favor as well, if you could. Follow our other channels, first with BA and the rest of the 695 crew, Calvin and Larry, as they talk about everything, mainly sports. Don't get off the damn fence. They do shows every Wednesday evening. Help my guys out, reach their subscriber numbers and hit them with the likes and all that so they can be an algorithm. Also follow BA along with Rel, Big J, and also Will over on Cuz We Geek, where they talk about everything in geek culture and film and television. They have shows Tuesday evenings and Saturday mornings. Help my guys as well get to their subscriber counts over there. Like, subscribe, comment, everything else over there. And the NBA season, man, it's hot. It's getting hot. But you know, the playoffs, second round, we getting there. So come on over to Captain Crown if you're interested in that type of stuff. Myself and Ro, we talk about that every Monday evening, Wednesday evening, and Friday morning. We have shows. Help us get to our subscriber counts. Like, subscribe, comment, all that over there. Yes, so you want to say, Mr. Green?
You doing a draft lottery?
Yeah, tomorrow. We're going to do a quick one. So we'll do a quick draft lottery if you're interested. Shout out to the plug for the show. If you're interested tomorrow around, I think the show will be at 2:45 Eastern. Probably a quick little 15-minute show. We just want to do the lottery live, and then we'll cut the show real quick. Chemo Queen, that's Mr. Green down there. Sorry for Travito not being here. Happy Mother's Day to all the ladies. I am Muy Grande Negro Americano. This is We Talk Combat. So we talk all things combat sports and sports entertainment. We are the best, brightest, and blackest combat review show there is on YouTube or anywhere else, y'all. Don't let anybody tell you a lie or anything else. We'll be here again next week for another recap and all week for watch-alongs. We'll see y'all then. We out. Look out for the shorts. Peace.